Thank you, Deputy Speaker. We think about 10 years ago in February what happened was clearly probably the worst day in most people's lives that they'll ever have to have. I remember standing in the backyard about lunchtime at my place, and my wife was excited because the washing was dry in about 10 minutes because of the winds coming through so hard. Later that day, 1,000 CFA and other firefighters fought the fires, which there were 173 deaths, many more to follow. And this is the key that I think gets overlooked a lot of time, is the deaths that have happened since the fires and continue to happen today. 35 children died and 16 became orphans in one terrible afternoon. And I think back to people like Bill Coppinger, Trish and Alan Haywood, David and Amanda Cordell, Helen Kenny, who, if you've ever met Helen Kenny, is about 4 foot tall, but has a heart the size of the MCG. Anne Leadbeater and the work that they did. Jim Usher and Max Gudson for the book they wrote, Footsteps in the Ash. Jane Haywood, who is the principal of Strathewin Primary School, is probably one of the greatest people you'll ever get to meet in your life. Laura and Cameron Kane, Kathy Stewart, Sue Egan. I could rattle off names for hours of people that have done amazing things in our communities. But the key thing keeps coming back. This was not something that happened and finished. This is something that happened and continues to grow. People from day one had a whole range of issues and a whole range of views and a whole range of ways that they wanted to move forward. A lot of the people in our communities, I think of Steve at the Flowerdale pub, who just kept putting on Palmer after Palmer after Palmer to help the volunteers during that time. The amount of people who have suffered mental health issues since and continue to do so today. And you think about the children who at the time may have been between 6 and 10 years old and now young adults, and they still live with that trauma, still have issues today. I know of one girl who's probably about 19 now, still every day gets up and cleans the windows of a house, making sure that window's clear to see the fire coming. These happen every single day, and we need to make sure that we continue to work and to make sure that we're there for our communities. They're not asking for handouts, they just want the help that's needed. Many people moved on straight away, some people moved away, some people stayed, and some people have barely been able to lift a foot since those days. And the support needs to be ongoing for our communities. I was glad to take Bill Shorten, the Leader of the Opposition, up to Kinglake a couple of weeks ago to announce some funding there. But the most important thing was not just the funding for the streetscape, it was the time to sit down with people in a closed forum and talk about what's going on. And these are the important things. The help people need for mental health, the support the community needs. There's people that have worked every day of their life, since Black Saturday, haven't had a rest, haven't had the opportunity to take their family away. We all move away and move on to different things, but each and every day you drive up that hill to Kinglake, or you go through Strathewin, or you look across the back of my place in Whittlesea to the mountains, all you can see is scars. These are physical scars on a landscape, but you can't see the scars that people carry. I think about people I know who perished that day, particularly old Reg Evans, crusty old fella from St Andrews, one of the greatest Labor people I've ever met. Decided to nick back because he wanted to save something. Elaine Postlethwaite from Marysville had a fight with her husband, he stayed, she left. There are many, many stories like this, but we need to make sure that our communities are given the help and the support they need to continue. And we've learnt from this. We know that through what we went through, other communities across the nation in disasters have benefited. I know from when the floods in Brisbane, within the first hour of these things happening, I was getting phone calls from people from Kinglake, from Whittlesea saying, we want to help. Kevin and Rhonda Butler from Blaze Aid started a group to go along and fix up some farmers' fencing. It's a full-time career for them now. They are constantly, wherever there is a natural disaster, you'll find Blaze Aid there helping restore fences. So my one plea is, don't forget our communities, They still need our help and we have a long way to go.
I thank the member.